Hello everyone and welcome to another Docs debrief video for the Contention server in DCS World, where this time doing something a little bit different. I took out the Mig-19 on Contention Cold War and had an okay session. Definitely wasn't brilliant, but also wasn't terrible. The reason I decided to highlight this one is because this session I made a lot of mistakes. Some mistakes I got away with, some mistakes I didn't, and, well, learning from mistakes is a really good way of learning, and especially if you can learn from someone else's mistakes. So let's have a look at how I did here and the things that I really should have done differently. So things on my session started not too bad. I had some trouble chasing down F4s, which were always outrunning me, so that's fine, but then this nice B-52 came overhead, and it's something that the Mig-19 is fantastic at, is climbing up to heights very quickly. So climb up to this B-52, get tone. Very long range for a Fox 2 in the Mig-19, but this is a B-52, it's not exactly moving fast, and I figure that the missile can probably reach there a lot quicker than I can. So far away, kind of doubting it's going to hit at this point, but then do see the plane is very much falling out of the sky. So there we go, nice start to the day, get rid of a enemy bomber, which could have caused a lot of damage. Now while I'm still up high, I end up going head-on with this F4. He started locking me, and the Mig-19 does have rear aspect RWR, so I got the alert. Turn around, heading on this guy, can see him nice and clearly, he's out of burners, and this comes to my first mistake. I decide that I'm going to go for the head-on pass here. Really shouldn't have, because of that. So this was Era 1, so he didn't have any head-on Fox 1 missiles at all, and we just collided. I should have avoided that there. There was no need for me to take that head-on. We were in an equal energy state. I'm in a Mig-19. I could outturn him for days. That was just stupidity on my part. I got too target focused, shot him, got a bit confused, so I thought I had both guns armed. I only had one gun armed, and that threw me off just enough for me not to be paying attention, and so I died. So, bit embarrassing start, but loaded back up, heading back in, chasing down this F5 here who's been buzzing around near an enemy airfield. I realise that he is likely going to be passing me at this point, then do see that he has in fact blown past. And so this isn't a great start to the fight, didn't have eyes on him during the merge, but do just catch him here. Very low, but there he is, passing on my right hand side. So at this point I'm feeling okay. I pull in, despite missing him early on, I do end up in a good situation here. I'm on his 6. At this point I don't know whether he sees me or not. He is straightening out, so I decide to try a Fox 2. Unfortunately, see here, he is paying attention. He does pull back and flare. Likely didn't need the flares there, just pulling back is enough to defeat these missiles. And unfortunately, try and get the shots off there, don't quite manage to aim down enough, then aim down too much and miss him on the second pass. Now at this point I am slow to react. He really slows down, he drops his fuel tank, so he's now taking the fight seriously, and unfortunately because he goes up like that, he gets the position and just gets direct pilot snipe followed by ripping my wing off. So really good reversal there by Tiger 1-1 Sky Daddy. Yeah, I underestimated him and I definitely paid the price there. But wasn't going to leave that there, so took back off, headed back into combat. At this point this has turned into a massive furball here down in the south. We are playing on the Germany map, so it's very flat, very open, but does have these little hot spots that occasionally kick off where there is just a area between two airfields that just ends up swamped, and this is what I'm heading straight into here. You can see on the EWR there I've got loads of contacts. Loads of friendly contacts are also in the area, so I do need to be careful, but can make out the shape of some F4s, and in the lead of this whole little train is an A10. So trying to see what I can pull in on as planes detonate all around me, and ends up being that the A10 is the only thing still here. He's dropping his ordnance. I wait for the Mig-21. Mig-21 doesn't get anything on his pass, so I go, okay, right, my turn. I'll go in. Do have both guns on because this is an A10. Don't make the best pass, but do get an engine fire. Unfortunately, this is an A10. It can deal with an engine fire. And as we see, as I try and reposition, engine fire does go out. So roll back in, trying to stay on this guy. As I do, someone else nips in, gets some shots on. I kind of hold off here because it looks like the A10's going in. I don't want to steal anyone's kill. But then it's clear that he's not going in, so go to engage. As I do, someone shoulder shoots, zips past me. But at least the A10's gone down there. Now, I'm repositioning. Again, things are just exploding absolutely everywhere. And that is a F4 behind me. There was a Su-25 slotting in on my 6 for some reason. Maybe luckily for me, he then just explodes. That might have been an attempted friendly fire, but it didn't mount to anything. Either way, I am still engaged here. I've got F4s in multiple different positions. Still in a decent enough state. See this dogfight going on off my nose. The F4 here starts to go high. Try and get some guns, don't pull enough lead there. But it's not too bad because I do end up nicely on the tail of this guy. And since he is really low on energy, now's the time to fire off a Fox 2, and even with that rather strong aspect, I do get the kill there. So there we go, feeling a bit better about myself at this point. Managed to get a kill that didn't involve ramming someone, and so at least off the peg there. Now things are not particularly calm. That little dogfight is over, but you can see within 30 kilometers we've got an F4 going at over 1,000 kilometers an hour, so that is not going to take long at all to reach me. You can see off my nose I get a little dot. So try and stay low. I want to do my best not to be skylined against this guy, so he has a harder job seeing me. Fortunately, I am very, very target focused here, keeping an eye on this guy, so I don't notice there's a friendly just off my left, and I very nearly make another mistake round here. I go up, I already had it in my mind that I was going to pull the trigger. I came worryingly close to hitting the friendly there. Luckily I don't. Friendly got guns hits on this guy. Friendly comes away unscathed. Unfortunately, I'm now trying to take on this F4 that has thrown me a little bit, but I'm now trying to recenter myself, get back on this guy. Quite happy with my positioning here. Lose sight of him completely. There was a couple of people who were getting severe server lag. I'm not sure if that was server lag or if he just perfectly traced a path through my canopy. Although I do check my rear there whenever I get the RWR warning, because that means someone's behind me. Nice thing about the Mig-19 is you only get the RWR warning on your 6, so you know when it's there. I get into a position, I fire, my missile takes the bait of a flare, but the MiG-21's missile does come in. So okay, he's dead. At this point I check what I'm doing, I'm low on ammo, out of sticks, so decide, right, I'm just going to head back, get more sticks, get more ammo, reset a little, but at least I've got one kill there, so I'm feeling a bit better about it. But very aware that I've made a lot of mistakes there, a lot that I got away with, but still a lot of mistakes. Either way, rearm, refuel, take back off, and the battle is going on pretty much in the same location. Multiple enemies, multiple friendlies, big old furball, and so same idea. I'm heading in, trying to get some kind of target ID here. It's relatively easy to spot the F4s, they are by far the biggest things that you tend to come across here. And so here you can see a couple of them going up. Don't want to raise my nose too early, because if I go high that very much exposes me, and this is not the situation where I want to be exposed. Just trying to do my best to slot in on the tail of this formation. I kind of dither there between the target that just passed by me and the other two who are going up. Probably would have been better to actually make that decision a bit earlier, because here I've lost all of the targets. Luckily, I seem to come out doing okay. This F4 is doing his best to get on my 6. I do take a little bullet hit there, but it's nothing too bad. Must have just been a single round. Doesn't seem to have impacted my flight surfaces, so I continue on. And here I'm in a situation where I've got this pair of F4s still climbing up, which is where I really like using my Fox 2s, because they don't have the energy, so even the very crappy Mig-19 Fox 2s can tend to catch things, even at a decent range like that. So let one off, get a kill, roll over just as this guy is heading straight down below me. As I do, I see another which I'm better positioned of. He fires twice. Fortunately, I can't do anything about those missiles. But he is now slow, going in a straight line in his pursuit. Get a second. So there we go. I'm feeling happy now. I've got a couple of kills in less than a minute. That's making me feel better about previous mistakes. Now, here, what I probably should have done is take this opportunity to disengage. That is, the last F4 is going down off my nose there. Do have 15 kilometers separation. That is enough for me to get out of here. Could have gone, could have got 2 more sticks, maybe try pushing for the ace. Instead I decided that I'm going to stick in this. I've still got full cannon ammo. Not really sure if that qualifies as a mistake, maybe being a bit too gung-ho, but it does at least mean that I'm actively helping the team. If nothing else, I can distract people here. Anyway, so head towards these guys, get an eye on an F4 off my nose. Fortunately, there are 3 things in the area, and I'm very much target focused once more. I really needed to be a little bit better at getting better situational awareness here, because we've got so many coming in fast. If I had been paying attention to EWR, I would have seen there was an F5 that was up briefly that's disappeared, and there he is. Take another bullet hit. Luckily it's only a single one, and luckily it doesn't seem to do too much damage this time round. Once again, this is probably a situation where I could have been disengaging. I have now taken 2 bullet hits. It's only a matter of time before something more severe happens. By the way, trying to get eyes on these. I know there's an F5 in the area. I see this F4 off my nose. Gonna head under the F4. More nervous about the F5. The F5 is a lot more manoeuvrable than the F4. And here I do see both of them. Looking between them, decide that, well, the F5 is in the rear of the formation. Kind of dithering between them again here, trying to look for a good target of opportunity. There is a missile behind me, which means that either they're shooting each other or there is a friendly in the area, and I do briefly get eyes on a Mig-19 there, so okay, I'm no longer outnumbered. Unfortunately, because I lost sight of that F5, he gets a shot off, and so that Mig-21 that nicely came in to even the fight gets shot down. That there was just a little bit of lag. I think the server stalled out for a moment, but I didn't really lose any positioning, so quite happy there. Pulling in on this guy. If I had a Fox 2, I'd go for it here. He unfortunately does know that I'm right here. He is evading. I'm doing my best here. C's still got his fuel tank on, which means he's not noticed. I get a decent solid hit there. Unfortunately, doesn't seem to cause any engine flame outs. And here is where it goes wrong. He does a beautiful break. I completely misjudged that turn. I go in for no damn reason there. I absolutely should have stayed up, should have kept my nose up, but I was, again, very target focused, which seems to be the theme today. By the way, do pick up one more sortie. As we see there, I don't get eyes on this F5 until we go through the neutral merge. He definitely gets eyes on me since he shoots, but he did miss, so not the end of the world. I end up in a pretty decent position on his 6 here. Unfortunately here, I end up losing sight of him, which is very annoying and problematic. There was really no need for me to lose eyes there. I just completely lost sight, and that's never a good thing in a fight. Especially because if you look at the EWR there are now 3 hostiles in the area, so I am feeling very exposed. I don't know if there are any friendlies in the area. Don't really have the time to go through the friendly picture to check, and just see multiple enemies here, including one right on my tail. And 2 of these are F5s. The F5s do make me more nervous than the F4s. An F4 in a turn fight is a plane that is losing the fight, so I'm really not worried about that thing. But these F5s can certainly give me a run for my money. As we've seen before, a good F5 pilot can absolutely turn the tables on a Mig-19. And when I'm in a 3-on-1, I am definitely nervous. As you can see there, the F4 is still being dangerous because I'm forced to focus on all of these targets. I can't focus on any one. He does get some opportunities there. I'm just lucky he didn't pull the trigger that time. Now, unfortunately for him, he did bleed off a lot of energy trying to keep up with me there. Now, I go for the high yo here to try and keep in a good position. I then realise that I have made a mistake here. I've bled off almost all of my energy. If there was one of the enemies somewhere behind me at that point, I absolutely would have taken a Fox 2. Thankfully, once again, I get away with it. Another missile in the air, so again I realise, oh good, they're either shooting at each other or there is a friendly. Either way, I'm going to take that as a win. The F4 goes down. Not entirely sure why. There's an F5 kill that ends up in the kill feed, but that wasn't the F4 that just went down, so not sure what's going on there. But here we do have my ally there. OnlyFans11 Tricker comes in. He does get an F5 kill, and he is very much helping even the odds here, so thank you very much. I'm doing my best here to continue this kind of defensive spiral. Nice thing about Mig-19 is if you do keep up this spiral of just a quite hard turn, there's very little other people can do about it. Missiles in this early era just will not track a plane turning this sharply, and it is quite hard to pull enough lead to get target. Now, go over to missiles here. Decide that, no, he's turning too hard, the missile isn't going to track. Go for guns. Absolutely wonderfully there. Get the kill. Missile was fired. I think that was a missile fired by the Mig-19. Oh, sorry, Mig-21 behind me. But it gives me the kill for the gun hit there, so, well, any day I get a guns kill, I'm happy. Fortunately, it's very much not over yet. See ground fire coming up on my ally. Here, I do make a bit of a mistake. I decide that, well, I'm going to go for this guy because he was right in front of me. Unfortunately, this is someone who is really lagging badly to the point that I completely lose track of them because they're teleporting all around the place. So that was a bit of a mistake going up for him. I should have really just kept my position and bled off a little bit of speed, tightening that turn. Now here I see a helicopter, and all of a sudden here I start doubting myself over what team the Gazelle is on. So take a moment to check. Gazelle is definitely on blue. If I had have been a bit more confident about that, I could have probably done something a little bit better about keeping position, but I do just lose sight of all of that. Know there's a Gazelle in the area. On Era 1 they don't get their Mistral, so I'm not too concerned about him being a major threat, but he is something I need to keep an eye on. Continuing to turn here because, well, this fight still isn't over. Passed by the Gazelle there again on my side, very much not prioritising him. And here I make one last mistake. I reverse a turn without checking the sets. Had an F4 behind me, so as soon as I reverse my turn, he gets the missile off. That time I didn't get away with it. So yeah, that was that session. So it wasn't a bad session by all means, wasn't a great session, did pretty decently, got a 3 kill run, so I'll take that. But yeah, I made a lot of mistakes, most of the time coming down to not having good enough situational awareness and getting target focused. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that, hope you found something useful, and hope to catch you for a future video. Till then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.